funny mamas.
Now that was a good picture. I would like I had to your son.
Two funny mamas.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? We are live. There's some technical difficulties over there. Apologize for being late. Welcome to Two Funny Mamas special edition, red paper plate talk. That's right. You know, we only do these every now and then. This is maybe our third one. When something happens and the Oscars last night, we had to do this, but I couldn't do it alone. I had to bring along two very funny and opinionated comics, of course. Please welcome to the show, Mr. George Wallace. Woo!
Hello.
What's up, George? And
I'm doing fine.
Oh, see, that's why it's a little delayed. Hope Flood. Say hi.
Yes, I am here. Okay. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Okay. George.
Hi, Mr. Wallace.
I'm here. I'm good. How are you, young lady? At the red paper plate edition. What an exciting evening we've shared.
Yes. Last night was it was shocking. Like, you never expect things to happen. You never expect that. But you know what? That's how life is. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen. We have another guest off to the side, but real quickly, I'd like to just get a few words on your take. George, what do you feel?
Well, I'm glad you did this because we can get to the details a little later. First of all, let me be perfectly clear and honest. Most important, last night, Will Packer from Atlanta, Georgia, living in Atlanta, Georgia, a mile away from me. I think this is the best produced Oscars I've ever seen, and I was so amazed. For an hour and a half, I did not move. I mean, we had inclusion. We had people of color. I said, is this BET Espanol? It was so awesome. And look at did you see the set, the design of the set, and coordinated with the people's outfits, uniform or whatever you want to call it, whatever they were. Yes. The colors were there. Now, how about the first guest? I just love inclusion, everybody included. And black people been complaining for years, not enough black people on. Well, you can't say a damn thing about yesterday because there's some black people on yesterday, more black people than ever. So we cannot, that was Will Packer. Thank you for doing a great job. And I said that without getting into details. How about that?
All right, look at that. Very good. All right, Hope Flood, what's your thoughts?
Oh, all I saw was the fight because that's all I wanted to see. I didn't see the rest of the stuff. I don't care nothing else about them Oscars. I ain't got one. The thing ain't even real. It ain't even real gold. What is they fighting over? It ain't even real or whatever.
You mean
so
it's
I
not
just
real?
It ain't real gold, Dr. Wallace. It's not real.
Well, hell, ain't none of that stuff real.
You can't take it to the pawn shop or nothing. You can't do nothing with it.
Yes, you can take that to the pawn shop. Yes, you can. Bring yours up. When you get one, bring it over here. I'll give you some money for it.
No, that's right. I'll put it right on my shelf. Look what I want.
Now, did you all
get your own, Dr. Wallace? You get your own Oscar or whatever. But I was there for the fight. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I'm not a violent person. Okay, I'm lying.
Yes, you are.
But you are. I'm lying and stuff. But I just think that do you want to get into that now or not? Do you want to get into what happened or whatever?
I think maybe Kym, what you can do, your special guest can come on in just a moment. But I wanted to ask, did you all catch the brunch pre-Oscars show? Because the star of that you could take to the bank. Check this out. Did you see the pre-Oscars brunch show? I don't know. I think this is something kind of important. Who is that?
Oh my God, that's a beautiful
stunning
lady. Who is she?
Stunning. Oh my
look
God.
At her.
I was at the you got another picture, Chris? There was better ones. There you go.
Yeah,
look at that.
Oh my.
That's
beautiful.
Donatella Versace next to me.
Yes, Lord. Face beat to the gods.
Yes.
Beat to the gods. Didi Kelly did that.
That Didi Kelly, Donatella Versace was there to talk about fashion, and I ran over to her. I didn't know she was going to have she had a serious accent, and I was like, I don't know why.
You like, huh?
I thought she lived in Miami. This is crazy.
That's right. Miami has so many different accents. You're right. Mm-hmm.
And your
So,
attention span
it
is
was
that
great.
of a gnat. So I know that didn't work out as well. Because
And that's
you like,
Jabari.
What? Huh? I already could hear you, Kym.
No, well, speaking, look how ironic this is. That's the little boy that plays Will Smith in the reboot.
Can you blow that picture up? You can cover her. We'll just show some
Jabari.
people in the chat are asking for a larger photo. Now, Kym,
Yeah, so
sorry, go ahead. What did this entail? The pre-show.
So the pre-Oscar show, brunch was right there at the red carpet at the Roosevelt. And all of us from, I work on Daily Pop, and tonight I'll be on Nightly Pop. If you get a chance, turn on the E! channel, 11 o'clock. We're talking all about everything. And, so I did like cocktails. I do the segment on cocktails and food. Of course I do. And that is right there, Adam Wells Adams. He was the bartender, but he's on Bachelor in Paradise. But that was the best drink ever. I've never heard of it. It's called a Brown Derby. George,
oh, yes, that is fantastic. Did you have the little chocolate coffee in there? That's a wonderful drink, Kym.
I never was hip to it. I went and got the stuff. I'm about to make one now. So, it was a great night. I know we can bring on our special guest, but I want to first say why we're bringing her on. We talk about the players of last night's main event. And, oh, gosh, I see that.
In the blue corner.
George, they call that an open weight fight, by the way.
You're right.
It doesn't matter the size of each competitor.
Okay, so Will Smith, of course, and Chris Rock, and then Jada. Let's put all three of them in there because we think about why it happened, how it happened. We all three are comics.
Right.
First of all, we'll get into the detail. The joke wasn't that bad, but the thing is, Jada Pinkett suffers from a hair problem, which a lot of Black women do. It's called alopecia. And I don't think Chris knew. And as a comic, I don't know if he cared.
I don't give a damn if he did. No, I don't give a damn if he did. No, it had nothing to do with alopecia, whatever you call it. The joke was about the G.I. Joe joke and the green dress she was wearing. It had nothing to do. He laughed. Will laughed at the joke, and Jada was just doing a take on it. Where did Will get all of a sudden so animated that he's got to get up and go down and slap the shit out of somebody? That is not good. That was not right. And I love Will Smith. I love him, but I don't love him today.
I love him, but I don't love him today. I think that, we'll all get into it. Let's bring on, I have a friend of mine who's a dermatologist, so the people who are watching in the world can understand what alopecia is. People are probably like, what? She got what? She just cut her hair short. So it was maybe sensitive to her, and maybe we can all try to spin it until they do a press conference or something to explain it to us. So let's go ahead. We're going to bring on my friend who's a dermatologist out of the DMV area, Dr. Mack.
Hey.
Chris.
Hello,
Kym.
everybody.
Dr. Mack.
Doctor.
Hey, Dr. George. Miss
Welcome.
Hope and Miss Kym. Thank you
Welcome
for the
to-
opportunity.
I don't know how you missed that, Chris. You just brought her on without the introduction.
Well, I like the banter between you and I whenever you perceive me messing up. So, Dr. Mack, you got the name from a very, very talented man named Steve Harvey. You've seen or heard her on Steve Harvey Morning Show, Weekends with Ed Gordon, local DMV. She was actually in the Chris Rock film Good Hair, so that's very, very relevant to the subject. And if you want to get a hold of her, we'll pop the website up throughout the interview. Kym, George, Hope, Dr. Mack is here for you. Figured we'd give a little bit of some history and maybe some information that people don't necessarily know.
Well, first of all, let me just get her as a layman, not as a doctor, but how did you feel about last night? Did you get a chance to see it?
I did, and actually my phones were blowing up from friends of mine because I just said, wow, this is such a sensitive topic because women of color with hair loss it opens Pandora's box. And we saw that front and center at the Oscars last night. And so I'm just praying for peace for Will and Chris. And I think that this is going to be able to, kind of calm down, but it is a very sensitive subject for for women around the world that suffer hair loss, which is alopecia. That's the medical term for hair loss. And it could be a gazillion reasons why. I mean, there are textbooks on just alopecia alone. So yeah, there's a lot that we can talk about today. So you all just shoot questions. That's what I'm here to help.
Well, first of all, I just want to say hello to you because you're a dermatologist and you're the doctor that I go to that y'all don't do nothing. I go to my dermatologist and he just looks at me and go,
Yeah, we can look at you from the door and tell you what you got going on.
And I said, and he says, okay, and he walks away, writes a prescription, says, no, I said, oh hell no, you touching me. You gonna look in that drawer and you gonna get that KY jelly. You touching me like my other doctors do. You just not gonna look at me and just write me a prescription.
We typically will stand at the door and look at you from afar, and we already know what's going on.
Swear to God, you do. My doctor looks at me, and I'm going, this is not right. And you're going to charge me $175? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, well, I like to put my hands on patients when I was doing clinical training.
That's like my OBGYN. When the pandemic first stopped, we were doing it on video chat. And I'm like, well, I got an issue in my vajayjay. So do I put it on the screen or how do I do that? How are you going to look in my vajayjay? Do I put it on the screen? Do I need to get my desktop to do it or my iPad? You know, it's a little, it's too big for the screen.
You definitely, what I'm saying. You need a wide screen. You need a wide screen.
Kym, stop it. Kym, stop it. Stop it, Kym.
You need to try. So I just try to figure that out, doctor, and stuff. They don't want you to touch you. I said, I need to come up in there and everything. And then I'm 55. How do I have this acne? Where do I get this childhood acne? I got hair on my. I got so much hair on my face right now.
We can just talk about everything.
Yeah, I got so much hair on my face. I got to look at my panties and make sure I ain't grew a penis. Okay, so what is going on here? What is going on with all of this stuff? I'm sorry, Dr. Wallace. I don't talk like this.
There's just a lot of stuff going on in the world today.
She's going to send you a deal. But
TCOS.
But really, Dr. Matt, I'd like to know just your personal opinion when you first saw it. What did you feel? What did you think? Don't worry.
I mean, I was. It definitely was a heartfelt moment because not only did I feel sensitive for Jada and what she's been going through, we're not really sure what type of alopecia that she has, because once again, alopecia in a broad sense is just the medical term for hair loss. And we just have to be sensitive about the subject in general, because there's millions, once again, of women, especially women of color, that our hair is our crown and our glory. So anytime any one strand comes out, we are just blown about what is going on. So the key is you have to really get to your dermatologist, a regular internal medicine doctor or your OBGYN or whatever other kind of doctor may not really be able to get to the specifics. So it's important to get to your dermatologist that really understands hair loss and be able to go down the chains of command and figure out, well, what's going on here?
But what?
So,
can I get alopecia?
This moment. Go ahead.
Can I get alopecia on my gray hair on my vajayjay, please? I would love alopecia there.
Oh yeah, yes you can. Yes you can. There's different types of alopecia. In a sense, there's alopecia areata, which is like the little patchy hair loss on the scalp itself. Then there's alopecia totalis, where the whole scalp has no hair. Now, Hope, to your point, there's a condition called alopecia universalis. So that means hair is nowhere on anywhere in your body. Your eyelashes going, your eyebrows, your nose hair, your ear hair, your down there hair, all the hair is gone. So that's from a medical perspective where the immune system, targets those hair follicles and shuts them down. And it could be from stress, but it could be from some underlying reason that no one can ever figure out. But then there's the other side.
I think she looks beautiful. I think her hair looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks gorgeous on her. I wish that I could cut all my hair off, but I got a big piece of meat in the back of my head, so it's not going to work out right or whatever. It looks like I've had surgery.
We've been seeing that big piece of meat on the back of your head for 40 years. Everybody already seen
it. It's still there. It's still there.
So you might as well cut it off. We all know everybody talk about it, but what's that on the back of her head? And then
No, I'm not going to do it.
I'm sorry,
I'm not going to do it.
No, can I get back on the subject?
one of y'all say something to me, I'm gonna slap the shit out of one of y'all. Okay, so it goes all the way around.
Kym and Doctor, let me ask you a question. Alopecia, hasn't she shared this with America already about her condition?
She did.
And then the joke, if you're a real comedian and you know the joke, it was not about her hair. It was about the movie and the outfit. And the joke was written last night.
Dr.
The joke
Wallace,
was written last night.
It was
the
about
joke was
her
written
hair.
about G.I. Joe in the green outfit. Look at the outfit.
G.I. Jane. It was about her hair.
G.I. Jane, yes, yeah.
It was about her hair because when Demi Moore shaved all her hair off to do the movie, and so he was making a correlation between the fact that, we'd love to see you, which I think Jada could play that role. We would love to see you in G.I. Jane. That was about her being bald, but not about the alopecia. That's my
exactly, but not about alopecia.
It wasn't about that.
Let me tell you something. Nobody thought anything about alopecia until Will Smith had laughed. Everybody had laughed. She took a take and came back. All of a sudden, now this is when the alopecia came in. But as far as the joke is concerned,
and she's trying to make Will out of Tupac. I think that's what she's trying to do. She's trying.
I know you didn't say that, did you?
I did. She's trying to.
So since.
Channel her in his inner Tupac. We changed the whole structure. It could have been very easily. It was not. He could have waited to the end of the show and said to Chris Rock, "You should not have said that about me. Would you apologize, sir?" Chris Rock certainly would have apologized. And the joke was not a great joke, but it was not a bad joke. And it was.
It wouldn't have had the impact that it had, and we wouldn't be on the show right now if he did that. Okay, so it did what it did and stuff. And Chris ain't gonna do nothing. Chris about as soft as Drake. Okay,
Chris ain't gonna do shit. You got to be crazy. Chris ain't gonna
damn thing.
What's that thing they say you can? Well, Chris never wanted to fight. Chris didn't hit back. That's what I love about Chris. He stood there and he was professional, and he did a great job.
What he gonna do? Dr. Wallace, what he gonna do? He weighed 87 pounds soaking wet. What he gonna do to Ali?
He didn't want to do anything. That's what's so unique. That's what's so unique about it. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Kym? Isn't that right, Doctor? That's what was so professional about Chris. He stood there and took the joke and still delivered his lines. Rock was solid as a rock. He did a great job. And I tell you, you know what I tweeted out this morning? It's a good thing Will Smith's mama wasn't there, because she'd have whooped his ass for acting like that. It was not appropriate for Will Smith to have done that. I wish he had slapped me.
I don't know. Black mamas are different. Black mamas are different. Black mama, you talk about my baby. Black mamas is different.
We are.
Mama, first of all, black mamas teach you respect. Do not act up out of place. When your mama slapped, as soon as you got up, your mama would have given you the eye and you'd have turned your ass back around and went back to your chair.
It depends on the circumstances.
Dr. Matt, what I want to know is, can you recover from alopecia?
You can. So let me touch on really quickly about, because we haven't talked about the external reasons as to why really millions of African-American women are having hair loss. And that's quite frankly because of the hair relaxers. I mean, that's why Chris did the movie that came out in 2009. And we're still talking about the subject now, 10, 12 years later, because it's all about the chemicals, the relaxers, the hair dyes. We are chronically abusing our scalp, and that scalp can absorb those chemicals where we feel the burn. And folks will feel the burn till they feel like that hair is extra straight. And that's where the underlying problem is in most of the causes of alopecia. But we don't want to talk about that because we want to keep the hair straight. And we want to keep the hair dyed, and we want to do all of these things, but we don't want to face the fact that when something does happen, that it becomes so sensitive to them. But I'm saying, look, learn why these things can occur in the first place. Let's get something to fix it so that we prevent these issues in the future. So alopecia is a broad term once again, and most of the reasons of alopecia worldwide is because what we are doing personally to our hair and our scalp. Yep.
Oh man, that is such good news right there. That was really, really informative. You screwed up your own hair, first of all, by doing these chemicals. Yes. First of all, it's not alopecia's fault. It's your fault.
We can fix it, to your point, Kym. If we just stop doing these things, and if we notice there's a problem, we don't just say, let the hairstylist or go to the store and get a box perm and still do these things and say, I'm just going to work around the area of alopecia or balding. There's no such thing, because that chemical is still washed off in the sink, and it's still going to get all the scalp as well. So you just need to avoid that, get to the doctor, get some treatments, and it can recover. Now, there's people that get alopecia.
I blame white women. I blame white
Okay.
women for that.
So with
Okay?
that,
I blame white women.
that's relevant. We've got a comment in the chat that I wanted to ask you all to address. I Always Shine says the underlying issue is being forced to assimilate. Do you all agree with that, or do you feel it's a different choice?
Yeah, I don't know about being forced to assimilate.
Right.
I would say that's a choice. I don't know about
Choice.
forced.
Well, Chris said it best. He in the movie, he said it makes people more, when hair is relaxed, it makes people feel more relaxed, because a lot of people are not, typically used to seeing, our natural hair, the beautiful textures. And quite frankly, we're really not used to that yet. I believe in these last few years, because of the beauty that's coming out and everyone is going natural, people are getting more comfortable. You've got the big companies
Right.
doing big diversity campaigns and showing the beauty that lies in our hair and our variety of skin colors. So now people are more relaxed about us being more natural, and that's a beautiful thing.
And that's why Hope was blaming the white ladies.
Do you feel that his film
I blame
addressed
the black man.
You need to make up your mind who the hell you blame, okay? You
I blame
blamed the
the
white lady
colonizers
15
as a
minutes
whole.
ago.
What about
I blame the
wig
colonizers
wearing?
as a whole. I blame the colonizers as a whole, because we are trying to emulate them and getting straight hair. Our brothers don't want us natural hair. A lot of us have natural hair and we've worn it, and we couldn't even get a date with none of our men. That's some issue. It's our men don't want us.
Hope I actually said that in the movie too. We try to assimilate to like the European culture historically. Now we're getting out of it because a lot of the other cultures are really loving our natural look and feel.
Yes.
And so yeah, it's a good thing. And Kym, on your point, you just talked about wig wearing. All of that is fine. We, as long because we're concerned about our image. And so you're going to do things to cover up whatever sort of issues that you're having on your scalp. And so you just want to make sure that if you're using hair extensions or wigs or weaves, that it's being done properly, because we're putting braids in too tight. Glue doesn't belong on the scalp either. That's another chemical that's absorbing deep in the scalp and causing problems and scarring and so forth. So any of those external things for imaging, I'm all for it. Just make sure it's done right. Don't pull the braids too tight, because you take that wig or weave off, that hair will be in the sink or on the bathroom floor, wherever.
Okay.
And when you get your new growth, ladies, when you braid your hair down and you get your new growth, don't let it stay in there where it's all the way back to the middle of your head. It's time to take those braids out and get them redone again. I mean, I'm just saying.
You talking about like Stevie Wonder braids all the way. I told Stevie Wonder over there, I said, Stevie, you wearing a tail. That's a tail you got. That ain't no damn, you wearing a tail. Hey, Kym, I said, pretty soon you're going to be, I told Stevie, I said, Stevie, pretty soon you're going to be combing your ass as far as your hair.
I love Stevie, but you know what, Stevie may have two components going on. Stevie may have like the tension alopecia from the braids, from wearing the braids, and also the weight of the braids can pull on the tension. But then also maybe an element of like male pattern balding, where like the dihydrotestosterone, that you all hear the word DHT, and that can block those follicles from being able to continue to grow. So that's a common thing in men, but also women too. It's the main reason
even the dreads. Some of these dreads are, pulling people's hair out. My girlfriend used to have major headaches all the way down. They were thick. And she was having major headaches and she didn't know why. And she went to the doctor and kept saying when she cut the dreads off, the headaches went away and she lost 30 pounds.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Wait. The tension on the actual follicles. I mean, if you think about the weight, you tie a rock to the end of your hair, it's going to give you headaches and a whole bunch of other stuff too. So, the answer to that is it's okay if you're going to do locks or dreads, but have them shaved, have them so they're not so heavy.
Too heavy.
So before we wrap up, the last thing I want to get a statement or a comment from you is that, do you feel like Black women in our community are sensitive about alopecia or about their hair, that would cause their husbands to slap them in the face, somebody in the face for making a joke?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the husband.
Well, you got to go back to 2018. Kym, you got to go back to 2018 when Chris came at Jada then, and he said, I guess she was there at the award show. Who invited you? So he's been digging at her for a long time. This ain't new.
Wait.
You know,
We got to get
whatever.
into it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, in 2016, he made a comment about, well, who invited you and why are you here? So he's been digging at it for a long time. This is not new.
Was that a joke for him just seeing?
I'll pull up
I mean, he's Chris Rock. It's a joke, but still. He's always saying stuff about it, like maybe he want to hit it or something. I don't know.
In 2016, Oscar's So White, Jada, I believe, boycotted on behalf of Will, and Chris Rock's joke or response was, "How are you going to boycott if you're not invited anyway?" That's the 2016 joke. So to me, that's two jokes.
That's two. Yeah.
So
he's been digging at her for a long time.
But is that
digging?
Wasn't
digging at her. That was a point made. That's not digging at her. How are you going to, if you're not invited, how are you going to, what's the word? Protest. Yeah. So nobody invited you in the first place.
But they were invited. Will was invited. Will has been a box office star for the last 15, 20 years. So he was invited. But they didn't go. They were boycotting it because it was white. So she feels like I'm my husband and he's me or whatever. So you know, Will ain't going. We boycotting that. So I'm boycotting him with him. We are one and everything. So that's what that was really about. It wasn't about okay, she wasn't invited. Will was invited, so she gonna go with her man. You know, and more importantly, it's just to me that the Black woman is the most unprotected person on the planet. Nobody protects the Black woman. 90,000 Black women are missing in America right now, George, and cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's caring. We all in Russia and Ukraine. We got some issues right here. 90,000 Black women are missing in America. We got homeless right downtown. We step all over them and everything. And, so nobody's addressing that. And he just felt like, I need to protect my woman. Our men don't protect us. Our men don't feel like they don't really want to be responsible for us.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You sound like you're approving his actions yesterday.
You didn't hear me when I first started?
But you're saying it was okay for him to go up there and hit a associate, a friend? On national TV, Hollywood's biggest night.
Have you ever hit one of your friends for saying some foul shit?
I would never say that. I would wait. You could call me whatever you want
would never
to. At a show
say
like that, I would wait after the show and go, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool.
Yeah.
I would never go get you.
Is that George Wallace now? Is that George Wallace at this age? What about if you were back at that age and stuff? Because when you're younger,
George Wallace at all
stuff.
times. George Wallace at all times. Be respectful.
Right.
Be respectful. Do the right thing. What was that? Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Yeah. And that's how you grew up. Yeah. It's something.
Well, I can't wait to see the BET Awards. How they gonna top that?
Well, Hope, here's what we're gonna do. The next time, Kym, either of us on the show together, one of you or one of us walk out there and slap the shit out of each other, and then we'll get some press off it, at least,
Okay, see, I'm a thug. I'm from Inglewood, California. Kym from Cleveland, Shaker Heights and stuff. I'm from the hood. Ain't no way. First of all, Chris Rock, I wouldn't have taken it. I just would have never hosted no more because I would have laid Will the fuck out. Hey, that's me. But I'm older now, Mr. Wallace. I shoot motherfuckers now. Okay, fuck all that fighting and shit. I'm not breaking my nails. You know how much I paid for these nails the other day? I paid about $150 to get my nails done. I ain't slapping Kym. I'ma shoot her motherfucking ass and be done with it. That's it. I got a good lawyer. I'm gonna shoot her. That's it.
You're gonna need your lawyer to get your ass out of jail because that's where you're going.
You gotta say the key words, Dr. Wild. Mr. Wild, you gotta say the key words. I felt my life being threatened. That's how you get out of all shit. I felt my life.
You felt your life being threatened by getting up out of your seat and approaching someone 20 feet away. You felt your life. How do you think Chris felt?
Right. I wouldn't fight with Kym anyway. You see Kym's shoulders? Kym is built like a linebacker on the shoulders. I'm not fucking with Kym's ass.
Hey, Kym ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah.
We do have.
Kym's like me. We're gonna talk and just be smooth. We're gonna talk our way out of it, but we ain't gonna fight.
They don't know. See, this is the thing. I'm
See,
not
I'm from Chicago.
right.
Oh,
Right.
the doctor.
I'm not gonna come up to either one of them. I'm like you, Doc. I don't need to come up to y'all. But when you go home, your house gonna be on fire.
There you go. There you go.
Now I
Behind the
know. I'm gonna
scenes.
make a mental note of that. I'm gonna make a
Behind the
mental note of
scenes.
that. Okay.
I
have called and
hit you in
cussed.
the pocket. I hit you in the pocket.
I have
Right.
called and cussed Kym out
There
many
you
times
go.
for some bullshit she said. And I said, Kym, I know you just had back surgery. I will kick you in your fucking back. Quit playing with me. Okay? Quit fucking playing with me.
When you go home and you
Yeah,
smell
you
some
got to
smoke,
hit them off.
when you go home and you smell some smoke, you know Kym been there.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, Kym,
look.
what
Oh, I forgot to remind you. This is a Christian show.
Oh my God. Is it?
It's
Yeah.
too late now.
Mhm.
Oh my
Better
God.
get
Lord,
right.
forgive me.
It's too late.
Lord,
this is
forgive
two
me.
funny
Chris, why
moments.
didn't you tell me this?
I figured you were a fan and you watched.
I mean, I have watched, but I'm just saying, you know.
20
Kym
Hail-
told me. She didn't even tell me that.
20 Hail Marys.
Now look.
God.
If Sherri's a part of it, you know.
Oh, then you can
You
say
know.
anything you want.
You
Yeah,
know.
No, that's
I'm saying.
But
Kym,
with me, Dr. Wallace and Kym Whitley, we both born on the same day. We are Christians up in here, and that's where we
I am a
represent
Christian
ourselves.
too.
Praise the Lord.
I
You
am a
shut the hell up.
Christian too.
Shut the hell up. You don't know damn.
All right, we have somebody who went to school. She's a very, very talented doctor. I know, Kym, you were going to maybe ask another question or two so we can get the doctor out of here to let the
This is a
comedians
Christian show.
clean up the
I need
mess.
to get y'all shit together, okay? This is a Christian show. Listen, y'all know I'm known as a clean. I'm known as a clean comedian, right? And I go to church.
Yes,
I go to
you
West
are.
Angeles Church of God in Christ, right? And I'm just
Yes,
thinking, you
yes.
know, everybody I know in the church, they cuss. I'm trying to be clean around here. So this year, after all of this being confined and quarantine, I'm cussing now. I don't give a shit. All the preachers cuss. The preachers cuss. Everybody cuss. I'm with you there. Yeah, Christian. All Christians cuss. I'm a cussing Christian. Steve Harvey said.
You know how many preachers I done had? You don't know how many preachers I done had lay hands on me, and not for the reasons
all
y'all
right.
think. Sorry.
You are a sister.
Okay,
You're a sister in the church.
But Chris, you wanted to go live.
I'm on the deaconess board. Okay.
You should have been taping this so we could clean it up. Dr. Mack,
sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on and giving your opinion
Yeah.
about alopecia, which affects, you said how many women, a lot of women in the African-American community. What would you say?
Do white women get alopecia? Do white women get it?
Oh, absolutely. They do the
Okay,
same
good.
thing we
Worldwide,
do.
okay.
The hair dyes, the chemicals, and I want to say this really quickly because those chemicals, that really is a deep issue because there was that December 2019 NIH study talking about the link of hair chemicals such as relaxers and hair dyes that are getting in the system causing breast cancer in women of color. And it was a diverse group of women, but they said there was a 45% increased risk in Black women who use chemicals, the relaxers, and semi-permanent or permanent hair dyes. So we just have to be careful. Sometimes we're doing too much and we're causing our own unfortunate issues. And so more education is needed. So that's why I'm out here.
Back in the 70s and the 80s, men were using relaxers too with those chemicals.
That's true. That's why a lot of them are bald now, right? That's why
and a lot of the Jerry curl wearers and those, it's the same chemical family.
I can't go back to a press and curl. You know, I should go back to a press and curl. They like $15 at the beauty salons now. You get your press and curl for $15 or wash edge press and curl now.
Doctor.
For press and curl.
Doctor, for those tuning in, do you have any recommendations for products that folks can use that'll avoid these issues?
Some Dixie Peach, some Royal Crown.
You're still going to use the products, but you just have to make sure coat that scalp with get some good plain white petroleum jelly, Vaseline, whatever. Just coat the scalp because the scalp absorbs the chemicals, and the scalp has a very rich blood supply, and that is getting in our bodies, is causing fibroids, is causing infertility, is causing breast. So just protect the scalp. And I'm going to say this, keep it off of our babies. I've been on this natural campaign to be keeping chemicals off the babies. That's how Chris got me in the movie. And I'm going to still say protect our babies because I say, is it straight hair today or grandchildren tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Let's take time with our children and keep the chemicals away off their scalp so that then they can give you your future grandchildren that you want. Yeah, it's a deep subject, you all. It's been a passion of mine.
Very deep right there with the kids.
Yeah.
It is. Where what is your Instagram, or where people can find you on social media?
It's actually best to go to my website. You can just do askdrmac.com, askdrmac.com. You can send me questions there. I'm a very open book person. I like to help to better guide. My focus is hair research. And if you need to get referred to a dermatologist in your wherever city you are, I can better direct you. So my role is multimedia education so that we can keep this platform going, because we are just not aware. And so I've been the medical director of Hype Hair magazine since 2000. And I know and a lot more other, hair and skin publications. So we got to keep the education going and keep the laughter going, because I think that makes it easier, what we call edutainment. You know what I mean? Like, keep the education and entertainment going.
Thank you.
So I appreciate you
Doctor.
so much, Dr. George, Miss Hope. This was a wonderful moment, and I'm open to come back at any time, and we can laugh and educate at the same time.
Thank you.
You see that, Kym? It's important. I tell everybody, we are doctors also. We take care of all of our patients at one time. We don't have no scheduling. It's all y'all come, and we make people laugh. And I guarantee you feel better when you leave a comedian show than you do when you leave the doctor's office. Because if you see $175 for an office visit, I mean, laughter is the greatest medicine in the world.
A dermatologist. But no, I used to have this thing.
Dr. Wallace, you need Medi-Cal. Dr. Wallace, you need Medi-Cal.
I got one of them. What is one I got? I got one of them.
You got Medicare because you old.
Sorry,
Dr. Mac, what were you saying?
Thank you, Dr. Mac.
You said one other thing, Dr. Mac.
No, I was just saying that, on my consult calls, quite often I have people that call crying. They're upset about their hair issue. And by the time that I get off the phone with them, they are laughing. And it makes me feel good. It makes them feel better. And that's what I do. So I love it.
Thank you.
Love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mac.
One quick question, which everyone out there is going to want to know. Do you recommend any product that can help you with hair loss? Is there any product that you can recommend, or any two products?
Well, I'm actually the U.S. pioneer of hair and skin supplements. So I have a product on the market called Bella Nutri. It's been out since 2004. I've got Bow Nutri for men. So this whole craze that you all see of hair, skin, and nail vitamins, I done been there, done that, and put it out in the universe 20 years ago. And people were like, what is this? Are you a witch doctor? No, hair grows from the inside of your body. And until you do something on the inside, it's not going to do well on the outside. It's just like a plant. You don't feed the plant leaves. You put stuff in the soil where the roots are. So my nutrients in Bella Nutri are specific for there. It's not a multivitamin like the other jokesters on the market. So if you want something that's really going to work, you come to me. As they say, Dr. Mac got your back.
With the closing. Thank you so much, Dr. Mac.
Okay, bye-bye. You all have a good night. Okay.
All right. If you're just tuning in, Dr. Mac, you can check out drmacmd.com. So much great information, and be sure to support Dr. Mac by getting a hold of those products as well. Kym, George, Wallace, Hope Flood, we've got a bunch of comments to get to. I wanted to see if you all would shed a little bit. You've done a little bit. Shed some opinions and give some insight as the comedians that you are as to if this is a moral issue, if this is comedy versus who stepped over the line last night.
Do you want me to go first? I can tell you, Will stepped the line. Will crossed the line because it's joke night. It wasn't only jokes about he and his wife. It was jokes about everybody. Bad movies, and everybody did a little small etchy joke. And but Will was out of line just by getting up out of his chair, approaching the MC of the evening, the presenter. You don't do that. You don't do that. And I love Will Smith more than anybody. I love him more than anybody. I've done his show. I've worked with him, but he crossed the line. I'm always going to be on the side of right. I don't give a damn.
I'm going to put something out there for both of you. Do you think this is going to open up the floodgates?
Stop it. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that for people to come up on stage and hit us if we say something. Yep. I said it this morning. I tweeted this morning. Look, I'm still going to be slinging these yo mama jokes. So if you feel free to come up on stage, I'm 280 pounds. I'm 6'4", and I got a mic stand. If you feel comfortable going home with a black eye and a black ass, come on up there.
Now that's been done. That's been done before. We've got a photo.
But your question, let's see, that's Steve Smith, isn't it?
It is.
Steve Brown.
Steve Brown.
Steve
Yeah.
Brown. Steve Brown. Yeah.
I had an altercation one time, and I didn't even say a name specifically. I just had a joke about big men. And I was in West Virginia, and this guy, this big dude, started walking to the stage, and he's taking off his belt like he was going to whoop me. I'm from South Central LA by Inglewood. And so I told him, I said, look, I have survived South Central LA. West Virginia is a cakewalk. You make one more step, this mic stand will wrap around you like a hula hoop. Keep on playing with me, you know. But like Lunel said, they're not going to be happy until a comedian is actually really hurt on stage, because a lot of the comedy clubs, they have the security watching the money. They don't have a lot of the security inside the actual showroom.
George,
Right.
You know,
it's the truth.
they don't.
Security, never,
You know,
they don't.
they're not in the showroom. They're watching the money and wanding people down and things like that. So they don't think people are going through things. And I think that I tell a lot of comedians, we are ministers of laughter. Like, people go to church to hear the word, their favorite song, or whatever they go for. People come to the comedy club for the same reason. And it's our job for their time to be there to make them feel better about whatever they're going through in their lives. And I say that because I had my club one time at the townhouse years ago, and the lady came up to me after the show, and she said, you know, today was my birthday. And she said, nobody called me for my birthday. And she said, I figured I'd get dressed, come to the comedy club, and I was going to go home and I was going to kill myself afterward. And I just said, I started crying, because God said, this is why you do it. People are hurting, and we don't know what people are going through when they walk in the club. You know, we don't know. And it's our job to make them forget about it, to feel better. And it's our job to make fun of ourselves and joke about it, because it's just not your story. Everybody's going through something. And she said, you know what, you guys made me laugh about things that I was going through that I took too serious, and to know that it's just not me. It's just not me going through these things. Everybody's going through something. And now with the climate it is now, it's really hard for us to go into these comedy clubs, because ain't nothing funny right now. It ain't nothing funny. And so it's just, people are flocking to the clubs because they want to feel better. They want to laugh. And that's just how I feel about it. So I don't think there's nothing taboo. I think that comics can talk about whatever we want to, because we say what people cannot say.
Yes.
That's what I feel.
Well, I think, you know,
And that is great. That's good commentary right there. I appreciate everything you said. And maybe there should be an announcement before the show starts. This is a comedy show. Leave your problems at the door, and we talk about anything and anybody, and it's not applicable to you per se. It's just a joke. So let's relax, sit back, take your clothes off, get naked, make yourself at home. Let's have a good time.
Because Will was laughing until he looked at Jada, and she wasn't laughing and stuff. He was laughing too.
Yes.
yes.
Now, was he awkward laughing, or was he really laughing? And then
He
when
was
she gave him
laughing.
the look, he was laughing,
Yeah, I think
because everybody else was laughing. But you know, Jada can be an ice queen. You know, Jada can be an ice queen, though, Kym. You know she can be an ice queen.
But
I don't know what an ice queen is, but yeah, she can.
You said it was a Christian show. It starts with a B and ends with an H.
But no,
Okay?
Jada is nice.
Yeah.
First of all, Will Smith is the nicest human being.
That's what I heard.
Yes, he is.
That's what I heard.
He is.
To a fault. So this is what I feel, is that he snapped. Because when you've been nice for so long, and I think, you know, he takes a lot of hits. His family takes a lot of hits. I think,
but
his
wife puts him out there, and she emasculates him. I think if anybody, he should have been put a foot in her ass long time ago.
Oh, wait, I can't hear you. Say that again. My ear went out. My ear sound went out. What did you say? He should have put a what? I didn't hear. He should have put a who?
He should have been. But the way that she talks about that stuff, especially this last thing with the young boy, she messed around in entanglement and all this other stuff, and the way she emasculates him a lot of time, and he has to deal with that or whatever. I think it starts at home, and I think Will should have been put a foot in Jada's ass long time ago. And I don't care.
Well, it came too loud and clear this time. Let me write that down. Will should have put in Jada's ass long time ago. Hope Flood.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. See, this is so cool that we can sit back and talk about this. This is really nice, and it'll all come to it. I hope it comes to an end soon. I hope.
But you know, I think Chris is going to come out the winner of this.
Chris already came out the winner.
Yeah, but he's going to go on the road. He's going to make a special about
He
it,
was a bigger person.
which will be good for Will, because once Chris makes fun of it, Will is going to be okay. You know, I think he'll. But it just, I just feel like Chris is going to really come out okay with this.
Chris already
because
came
he's
out.
going to comedy. Yeah, he's going to get doing comedy. I think
90% of the people, 90% of the people, the viewers, the listeners, the people that are just finding out are all on Chris's side. Support Chris.
No, not 90. They divided.
Okay, 88% hope. What the hell you want from me? 88%, okay?
But you know
Next
what?
time
I
I
also
see you,
want to.
Dr. Wallace.
You know, there's a couple losers. Let's talk about the losers of tonight, of last night.
Okay.
The losers of last night was, first of all, the African American race, and I say that because we protested Oscars so white. Now Oscars too black, Oscars so black, Oscars because we really, like you said, we had a female and a male producer. We had 3 female hosts, 2 black females. Let me tell you what they're not talking about today. They're not talking about Amy. They're not talking about Wanda. They're not talking about Regina. And they
I'm talking about that too.
Hilarious.
But you know what though, Kym? What bothers me about that? Why did you have to have 3 female hosts to 1 male host? So what are you saying about us? And this is a whole nother subject. What are you saying that a woman, not even black or whatever, can't carry an Oscar? A award show can't host by herself? You had to get 3 of them?
It was only
I feel like
change.
it was hilarious, right?
It was hilarious.
I'm not taking away from their comedy and stuff, but I didn't think they needed 3 of them. Why you can't get 1? You don't never have 3 male hosts.
Well, let me tell you something.
But you know
the one person can't carry a show like the 3 did last night. I don't care who you've seen, from Billy Crystal to Jimmy Kimmel. None of them have done what the 3 did last night. That was the best hosting show ever.
Yes.
I'm not taking nothing away from them.
But it's been overshadowed. It has been overshadowed. Unless people will talk about it later, but these women, I know, but this is what we should have been talking about. Today, everyone should have been like, oh my God. These women,
made.
oh my God, everything. That we can't talk about it. So I feel like, big ups to Wanda, Regina, and Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes. They did a great job.
Regina. Let's talk about Regina in particular. Everybody's wondering, well, what is she going to do? I thought she may have been the best one of the 3 hosts. I thought she was excellent at what she did.
She has amazing comedic
They all
timing.
were good. When she did that body search, and oh my God, she was off the chain. I thought
she has amazing comedic timing. And just for her to be a comedic actress, she has amazing comedic timing. Just like Wesley Snipes. I did not know Wesley Snipes was that funny. Wesley Snipes is hilarious.
Hold on a second.
I never knew.
Hold on a second. Are you saying he was funny because of what he was wearing? What the hell are you talking about?
No, just in some of the movies. No, some of the movies that he's done lately, like Coming to America and stuff. He's always played a serious role, George. For him to go into, I never knew he was that funny. He is hilarious in those roles.
He was funny last night with what he was wearing, because Brown said
I don't know what that was.
You don't know what? She said, I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that
Somebody should have slapped him, huh?
Yeah. That's what James Brown said. Somebody should have slapped him for wearing that outfit he wore last night.
Yeah, but he's so funny. I didn't know Wesley was that funny. His comedic timing, like Regina. Regina is so hilarious.
Did you notice that Regina threw shade, or maybe not? I felt she didn't. Other people felt she did. When she brought up, because we're not thinking like that. When she brought up Will, you come on up here. She's like, Jada gave you permission. Everyone feels like, here we go.
What happened there? Was Will supposed to have gone up also? She said, Will,
he didn't go. He didn't even go up, did he, Kym? He didn't go.
No, because Regina said, come on, Will, you can come up here too. Jada gave me permission, because they put their business out.
Yeah.
So you could I look at it like I would have said that too. Like, I've said that to people. I was like, your wife gave me permission, being funny. But because of their situation, so that could have got him too.
That started right there.
Yes.
Started right there.
He started right there.
Like, oh, what y'all think? I'm some punk. I'm Ali. I'm a Hancock. I'm all these. I'm a box office hit, and y'all are treating me like a $2 hoe.
That is not true. That is not true. That's not true. Will knew at the beginning of the evening he probably was going to be the winner. That's why he had that great speech already ready to go. He was ready for his speech, and I don't know what threw him off. It was just wrong for what he did. He ruined his evening. He ruined everybody's evening, and he ruined especially Black Americans.
He didn't ruin my evening. That was the only reason why I would have watched it and stuff. I was excited and stuff.
But there's something wrong with you in the first place.
Mr. Wallace, it is something wrong with me. And stuff. It is something wrong. It's something with me. He's touring with me. He know I'm crazy. And stuff. Mr. Wallace. Okay, so if you know, you guys. Kym, I don't know if you've met Will, but Mr. Wallace, you said you worked with him before, and everybody says how wonderful of a person he is. So for him to do this, you have to say to yourself, something happened for him to go out of character. That's not his normal thing to do. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to give him some type of empathy for him doing it, because that's not even who he is. Because that's what everybody says. I've never heard anything bad about him. I hear he's a beautiful in person, look like he's been dipped in gold, and how sweet he is and wonderful, how he talks to everybody, looks at you in the face and everything. So I've heard all of these things. I can't wait to meet him. Matter of fact, we'll holler at your girl now. 310-800. Holler at your girl.
Stop. It's okay. Everybody got your number anyways. Go ahead. But look, people say that's not who he is. Yes, that is who he is. People say that's not me. Yes, that is you. You did that. You made that performance. I love Will. I always have. He's been a great friend. But when you go in the wrong direction, you go in the wrong. He owes Chris Rock an amazing apology.
Now, he does owe him an apology. But I think, and I'm sure Chris has apologized for the hair joke. I think, it just wasn't the place. Oh, Lord. It just
But Chris
was
is a comic.
Not.
He's a comic. We do what we do, Kym. We do that. We look at Chris's humor. It's shocking. All of his comedy, it was classic Chris Rock. I wouldn't have expected anything different from Chris.
Okay,
I would have never expected anything different.
It wasn't a bad joke. I feel like Chris was the straw. Chris was the straw that broke the camel's back.
The 5'9", 160-pound straw. Like, come on.
Yep.
Can we?
What you know how many little men I've seen whoop some big men's ass? You know how many little men I've seen whoop some big men's ass? Plenty of times.
No. This is what's wrong with white people. This one right here, in particular.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sitting there trying to make a point, and you gave me his weight.
I said I find it like, okay, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, that's convenient whenever the guy's half your size. And you're staying like, I don't like that. I don't like that part.
But the whole point is that I've seen some little men. I've seen some little men whoop some big men's ass.
No, Kym, you're right. Size has nothing to do with this. Size has nothing to do with it. You don't approach anybody to.
I think he just snapped. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Tied.
It could have been anybody. It could have been anything.
If that's Alonzo Bowden up there, is he slapping him? I don't think so.
Okay, but listen to this, Eric. But listen to this, Chris. You see, T.I. tried to beat up Floyd Mayweather over his wife.
That's a good point. You don't want to.
T.I., who is thinner and smaller than Chris Rock, tried to beat up a boxer whose hands are registered as weapons.
On the other hand, had it been The Rock, had it been the real Rock, do you think Will Smith's punk ass would have walked up there with the real Rock? He'd have put the people.
Not a chance.
He'd put the people's elbow on his candy ass right there in front of everybody.
I would have loved. I would have paid to see it. I would have paid to see it.
I know.
That's all I know.
And we might see it at Madison Square Garden coming up around July 4th with Chris Rock in the blue corner and
Will
Smith in the red corner. I'll go see that fight. It could be verses. It could be verses with jokes and what happened. It could be funny.
Yeah, but we'll need to be careful and stuff. It's a lot of them rocks. It's Tony. It's Brandon Rock.
Sherrod.
George. There's Mama Rock. There's Daddy Rock.
I'm gonna tweet
Cousin
out.
Rock. Pet Rock,
Hard rock, little rock, big rock. I'm tuning it out tomorrow. I'm going to be careful. Be careful, Will Smith. There's a lot of rocks out there.
There's a lot of rocks out there.
Top 5 rocks in the world. Top 5 rocks in the world. I'm tweeting that tomorrow.
About 5 rocks in the world and stuff. So I don't know. And then people say that Jada could have held her own, that she didn't need Will to do it. But I look at it like this: if I'm with you and you my man, and we go somewhere, you my man, you are supposed to handle this for me, because that's going to further look like you were cheesy.
I'd have passed out.
Jada has no place.
I'm going to enter her channel, her set it off, okay, or whatever.
Oh, I'd have lost it. I would have jumped through that television to make her sit down. No, that was not Jada's place.
She looked at Will like, "What you gonna do?" But she looked at Will.
She should have told Will to sit down. Will, sit down. No. But we thought it was a humorous bit. We thought he was going to walk up and maybe say something.
We did. We thought it was a bit.
Yeah,
we thought it was a bit.
Something. White people thought it was a bit. Black people knew as soon as he hit them, that was real.
After he hit him, but we thought
white people thought it even later. There's one of them on here. He called me and was like, "That's not real. That's not real." All the white people I know, including one on here.
Generalizing a little.
What's his name? The one on here. Why don't you refer to his name and stuff? Yeah. It didn't look real at first, because Chris didn't move. He was like, "Oh wow." Will Smith hit me. He didn't move. He didn't, and that's reflex. Men on the show, if somebody hits you on reflex, you just hit them back on a reflex in a sense. So we thought it was staged.
Exactly.
I thought it was theatrical.
Because any 2 black men, that would have been a come on moment. Black men ain't going to let you hit them and not knock you in front of everybody.
Right.
But that's what made people stage, because what black man hits another black man and then turns his back to him? I was like, so that's what made it. He was confident.
But what was Chris gonna do?
I'm telling you.
Okay, so nobody is talking about the work that Rock has on his face. Maybe it didn't hurt because all that Botox he had.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt because you saw it hurt because he went. He didn't have a lot of
he didn't have a lot of Botox done. He didn't have a lot of Botox done. He didn't feel that. Trust me, he didn't feel that.
You talking about Chris had Botox. You don't know Chris hasn't had any Botox.
Okay.
She got her fish in the oven. That's not a metaphor.
The host. Are you serious? She's got fish in the oven.
Welcome to Two Funny Mamas. So this is a regular occurrence.
Yeah.
No,
what kind of fish is she cooking that it didn't burn by now?
Salmon takes 2 minutes to cook. It's burnt up and stuff or whatever. But Chris has had he didn't have a nose job. Chris didn't look, he couldn't even close his mouth.
Oh my.
Hey, listen to me. I hope Chris may have gotten his teeth fixed like me, but he hasn't done any other work.
Okay, so Mr. Wallace, look at Chris back then and look at him now. He's aging backwards. Don't. We're all doing it. I'm doing it too. I'm 55. I look 25. I know what he did because I know what he did. This is Hollywood. You get your teeth white. You get your little chicks. Yes, they do.
No, men don't do no Botox. Stop it.
Okay.
I have a question. So shout out to everybody tuning in. We get over 1,000 people watching. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. Appreciate that. If you'll follow Mr. George Wallace on Twitter and Instagram, and at hope.flood on Instagram as well. We'll take some questions here in just a second. Here's a very serious question from me. And go ahead.
Serious for me and Hope.
Oh, please. Now that was.
We'll try.
I believe that's called hyperbole. My mistake.
We'll try. We'll try as best as we can.
Okay. Real question. I've had the pleasure of. I've talked to Tony several times. I've talked to Jordan several times. Sherrod is their cousin. Sherrod Small. And I got the feeling that they grew up fighting, and I'm serious. And like maybe that's why Chris wasn't that fazed by it. Is there going to be any further? I'm really serious. Is there going to be any further fallout from this outside of some jokes or shade?
Do you know they made a whole series about everybody hates Chris, and if you watch that show, it's about him getting his ass beat through school
all the time.
Okay, so all the time. So Chris ain't no fighter. Now the other ones may be, but Chris is not a fighter. He didn't even give off the allude to the fact that he was gonna fight him. He didn't even do that. But I think he might have been shocked. He might have thought we were just gonna run up on him. Don't be talking no shit about my wife. But he actually hit him, and I think that's what stunned him and stuff. So he didn't know that. But Chris has grown up. That whole series, Everybody Hates Chris, was about him being bullied in school.
But what I'm saying is from family, friends, people who think they're his friend in Brooklyn. I mean, will there be any more fallout, you think, George?
No. First of all,
I don't think
if you've seen the Rock brothers, none of them are big enough to fight. Okay.
None of them
are big enough to fight. But I think they came from a home that they did protect themselves. Chris is going to be fine. Chris is about love. Nobody's going to attack Chris anymore. Yeah. Leave him alone. Yeah. He's the winner. He's the winner. He's going to make money at the gate, and
the shows are going to sell out. The tours are going to sell out. He's getting ready to go back on tour. He's doing some dates with Kevin Hart. It's called Rock Hart, Hard Rock. I don't know what it's called and stuff. But they out on tour together. So those are ticket sales because people want to come just to hear his jokes on it. But I didn't expect nothing less from Chris. I would have been disappointed had he not said some of the things that he said because he's Chris Rock and stuff. I love that he's unapologetically him. I love that about Chris. And all comedians should be that way and stuff. He is unapologetically Chris Rock, and he doesn't care what he said. He just caught a fade, finally. That's it. He just caught a fade.
And it's all good press.
Yeah. Would David Chappelle catch a fade?
David ain't going to fight nobody just because he done got a little muscles and stuff. Who he going to whoop?
Wait a second. Talking about fighting and comedians, what comedians do you know that can fight and will fight? Most of the good comedians, we don't know.
They couldn't have did that to T.K. Kirkland. They couldn't have did it to DL. Well, I'm waiting for DL to slap the shit out of Kanye. I'd pay to see that.
No, DL ain't gonna fight nobody, girl.
Okay.
DL ain't no fighter.
Sinbad never fought anybody.
No. Sinbad he would never hit anybody.
Tony Roberts.
No.
Tony Roberts never.
No.
DC Curry.
David,
DC Curry, never.
DC Curry,
never.
Yes.
Never. Too
DC
classy.
Curry ain't gonna hit
Too
nobody.
classy.
No. Too
classy. He's a Renaissance man. He's a classy dude. He would never do, but he would never incite nothing like that. He's not even that type of person, if you know what I mean, to incite anything like that. He's lovable. We love Curry. We love Tony Roberts. Yeah. We love them. Yeah. They don't do those kinds of things.
Ali Sadiq.
The girls that will fight. Let's talk about the girls that will fight. Hope Flood.
He won't fight either. He went to jail for something else, but he won't fight.
No, he went to jail for something like that, but he would. No, Ali would.
Did he go to jail for shooting somebody or any? No, he went to jail for drugs, didn't he?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I
don't take him as nobody to beat.
D-Ray Davis? Come on.
Oh, he'll fight.
D-Ray?
Yeah, he'll fight.
Corey Holcomb.
God, yes.
Corey Holcomb.
You guys, now you all, I don't know if everybody knows him, but Gary Goldman's 6'7" and played college football. I know he collared up Neil Brennan's brother at a club once.
Really?
Yeah. Gary's the sweetest guy on the planet, and he's a big, strong guy. I think Gary, you don't want to make him mad. You know Gary, George.
9 out of 10 comedians will not fight. Because we're about love. We're about making people happy.
No, we're not. We're depressed, sad motherfuckers. We will fight. Don't play that. Don't play that, Mr. Wallace. Don't. Don't do. I know you're a Christian. I know you go to West Angeles. I go to Bible in Richmond. My pastor Beverly Ma'am Crawford.
I'm getting ready to say the F word the way you
say it. Say it. I dare you to say. I'm gonna call Pastor Blake. I'm gonna call Bishop Blake on your ass. Say it.
That's Sherri on the phone telling Kym it's over.
Oh God!
It's amazing.
There's some comedians I know they fight for a living. They on stage so they can stay out of jail.
We live. You can go on YouTube right now.
Here.
Jesus Christ! Here we go.
Sherri, why don't she call in?
Y'all
got an Emmy for this? Y'all got an Emmy for this shit
NAACP Image Award. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. But you know what? I do have something that's due today by 5:00. And I think my boss saw me on this live because I just saw I missed a call for her. She's probably like, she ain't turned her notes in. Boom.
Before you go.
That's classic you. That's your motorist operations, Kym. Kym, that's you. That's your motorist.
The audible thing we did.
Kym, we've been on for 1 hour. I understand if you have to go, no problem. And you got to eat your fish.
Yeah, it's time to wrap it up.
Well, Kym is going to be in Cleveland this weekend. That's important that you go see her, you support her, and you tell her you've been watching Two Funny Mamas. And I believe we have a flyer for that. And
where is she going to be? I don't see where she's going to be.
She's going to be at the Improv. Yep. Blow that up, will you, Ryan?
In Cleveland, the nightclub in Cleveland. And if you can't laugh in Cleveland, you can't laugh anywhere. Cleveland is the pothole capital of the world. They got so many potholes in Cleveland. I hit a pothole. My teeth fell out of my mouth in Cleveland. So when you get to Cleveland.
I hit a pothole in Cleveland and I ended up in Detroit. I don't know how that happened, but it just happened. I was in Detroit and everything. Y'all hit me up. Any comedians, aspiring comedians, the 9th annual Comics Rock Convention. Go to comicsrockconvention.com. August 28th to September the 1st in Atlanta, Georgia. Aspiring comedians, new comedians, old comedians, come out. Workshops, seminars, award shows, meet and greets. All kinds of stuff, showcasing Atlanta's mainstream comedy club. I'm honoring you, George, this year, and you better come.
I'm going to be there this year. And I'll tell you what, I'm George Wallace. That's the way I see it, and that's the way it ought to be. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Kym, Hope, because my love for you does not require your permission. I love you. Let's keep laughing, I'll say, no matter what, because when you stop laughing, you stop living.
That's it.
And no fighting out there. Don't you be going. My mama would have whooped my ass going up there acting like that. Don't you be whooping, touching nobody, fighting like that, boy. My mama dead.
Not these mamas of today. Not these mamas of today. They be in the club fighting with their kids. Okay, like not these new millennial mamas, George. See, you got an old school mama. You got an old school. These new millennial mamas be like, why you didn't whip that nigga ass? Okay, why you didn't whip that nigga ass?
Hey, you know what?
No.
That is really laying it right. You're really laying it out right. Hope. That is so cool. Well, my mama used to tell me, no, when I grew up back in the 60s, my mom used to tell me, when you go to school, don't you get in no fights for nobody. And I'm telling you right now, if you get in a fight, you better whoop his ass. That's what she told us. Right. And she said, if you don't whoop his ass, she said, if you don't whoop his ass, I'm going to whoop your ass. And I used to get my ass whooped like 2 or 3 times a day.
So Will was channeling his inner mama.
Whoop my ass. Yeah.
His mama said, if you don't, my mama said, knock you out. I don't bring a butter knife to a gunfight. You heard me?
Boy.
Okay, because my mama said, knock you out and stuff. I bring a machine gun.
Saying goodbye, and now we have gone into
we're closing. Goodbye. I love you, Will Smith. I love you, Chris Rock. I love you, Will Smith. I love you, Chris Rock. I love you.
That's right.
I don't condone violence.
I love you, Chris Rock.
I love you too.
I love you, Jada. That's right.
I love all of them.
I love you.
And the kids too. Thank you, Kym, for thinking of me.
He told you to keep her name out of his mouth.
Keep my white name out of your mouth and stuff. You didn't say that to that boy who had. Okay, all right.
Oh, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, take care, y'all.
What's that word for the B word again? Let me write that down.
The red paper plate. No.
You know, I'm
Two funny mamas. Two funny mamas.